everybody, welcome to the Team Powerhouse Show. It is Tuesday night, and we're feeling all right. Mr. ERIK VAZQUEZ on your far right.
Don't say we're feeling all right. It sounds like we're on something. I'm not on anything, so.
That is true. Not that you can disclose. ERIK VAZQUEZ on your far right. David LEMEL here. It's a Team Powerhouse Show, and we are happy to be in your family rooms, living rooms, cars, on your handheld phones, just getting ready for you to get into it. What I want to say first of all is my buddy Brad Wiseman from the Platinum Realty Keller Williams in Pennsylvania, Sinking Springs, Reading, Pennsylvania area, just did his 200th episode, which is unbelievable.
Where are we at?
I don't know. You know, it's funny. I was gonna check into that where we are based on how many episodes, how many years we've been doing this for. But 200 episodes, and he had an amazing show. He had like, I think 20 plus guests from his first original guests and so forth and so on. I still have to finish watching the show. It was awesome watching it. Such a great guy. He's the reason and the motivation for us to do a podcast here.
Us or you?
Well, he started with me.
It was your idea.
It was my idea from Brad, and then sitting down with you, and you're like,
I thought Joe Rogan was the impetus of your.
No.
Okay, was it Joe Rogan?
It was not Joe Rogan.
Okay.
It was Mr. Brad Wiseman. So I want to congratulate you, Brad, and your team, and your experience and knowledge and professionalism. He really did mostly real estate in the beginning. And then he opened up and doing more things with different kind of categories, and he's had some famous people, actors, actresses, professional athletes on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Anybody I know, or?
I would say definitely yes.
Okay.
But he did a great job. Been doing a great job. He's all over social media, very well known in the community. Just want a big shout out to Brad Wiseman from Platinum Real Estate in Reading, Pennsylvania. And on that note,
Yeah. So share with the folks that you don't know what tonight's topic is.
once again, I do not know the topic. ERIK VAZQUEZ.
Well, last week you knew what the topic was.
True.
You just didn't know the specifics of what we were going to talk about.
That is very true.
Yeah.
So I love.
Well, I took it upon myself because you were like, there's certain things that we just can't talk about on the podcast. So
This is true.
So tonight I said, you know what? That's it. We're talking about something on the podcast that you say is like taboo. We absolutely, positively cannot talk about this one subject on the podcast. See how nervous he is? It's not that. Don't worry. It's not that.
The drape is coming down. Oz is in the.
The blood is going back into his head right
My
now.
face getting red. I'm excited. So this will be an interesting show, everybody. If you're waiting for the unexpected. Speaking of that,
That's my April Fool's joke.
It's a great one, actually.
In September. So.
I'm going to sit back a little bit. I can't sit forward right now. It's hard for me to lean forward. As ERIK knows, and some of you out there, I'm having problems with my hip. And leaning forward, it causes pain. So I'm going to sit back a little. So I look like I'm too relaxed. Don't think that I'm being relaxed. I just have to sit in this little more reclined position, if you will.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, ERIK VAZQUEZ, Mr. ERIK VAZQUEZ, 203-707-9077.
A lot of sevens in
A
there.
lot of sevens. I like it, though.
Seven.
So, ERIK, what are we talking about today?
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Let's talk about...
No, I figured, you know what? What state are we in?
We are in the state of Connecticut. The nutmeg state.
Sometimes we're in a state of confusion.
We are definitely in the state of confusion.
You were in a state of confusion before. You were like, what is he about to do?
That's exactly right.
No.
And the screen has nothing on it, so I can't see anything over there.
Correct.
I have no idea we're up for. Big shout out to a couple of people. One is going to be my wife. And the reason I'm giving a big shout out to her in advance is because I'm going to need her a lot over the next couple of weeks. So basically what's happening is I'm having hip surgery. Yes, I'm having hip surgery.
Wait, hip surgery or hip replacement surgery?
Thank you for the correction. I'm having hip replacement surgery. I'm 50 years old. I consider myself somewhat of a person who is in somewhat decent shape, takes care of himself, tries to eat somewhat well, although in the last month I've put on at least 10 pounds. As you can see, all this extra is why I have to sit back because I can't do any cardio anymore. hip is not allowing me to do so with the bike or the elliptical. And that's that. So we're replacing this hip,
What are you replacing it with? Another hip.
Another hip. Yeah, I started to watch what is the process a little bit, but I don't like the
Gore.
gore. Yeah, I can't handle certain things. But I saw like a modified, like robotic version of it, and it's kind of crazy. Yeah, they cut the side, then they cut through the muscle, and they go in there, they pull it out, and they put a new one in. It's really wild.
So you're gonna be like part Wolverine?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I would love to have.
You don't want blades popping out of your hip, though. You're like,
No, yeah.
Well, I've seen you dance, so it's reckless.
I'm hoping that I can still dance. So one of the things that's been a problem, if you've noticed over the last 6 months to a year, in my videos I do for real estate, I used to slide into the house. And what happened was it started to become a problem. So that I thought it was a back problem. That's what I really thought. I thought it was a back problem that started, and that's what the problem was. And turns out the back problem you may have is not a back problem, but it's a hip problem. I did not realize that a back problem can be a hip problem, but most of your back pain comes from your hip, which I found to be very interesting. All right, anyway, enough about that.
You old people,
Yes, exactly
understood.
right.
Understood.
If you're out there watching, if you have any questions about hip surgery, maybe we can bring a doctor on here and talk more about that or answer questions.
Have your surgeon come.
My surgeon's name is Kimono Anagora. He is with Connecticut Orthopedics, a very chill guy. As a matter of fact, I was sitting in his office maybe a month ago, and he's telling me that, he's like, listen, you don't have to do this. This is up to you. It's up to how much pain you're in. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wait out to like November, December, maybe a little longer. And it got to the point where the pain just started to increase tremendously. And I was like, you're so calm. He goes, I'm not the one getting surgery. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. That was kind of, yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's talk about what's going on.
All right, so today we're going to talk about Connecticut.
Connecticut.
We talk about real estate in Connecticut, we talk about businesses in Connecticut, we talk about people in Connecticut, but we don't talk about Connecticut itself,
That's true.
right?
Yes.
Very popular state. People have moved here
A lot of
from
people.
other states.
Yes.
Well, the numbers say differently. The numbers will say differently, and we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
But I don't think we need to sell Connecticut to anybody.
True.
Connecticut's a great place, and some of the facts that we're going to go over, or I'm going to go over with you,
Excellent.
will be a testament of. But yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. Is Connecticut. So you Connecticut residents, you're either going to learn some stuff about your state, or you're going to say, I already knew that. Feel free to chime in if you know the answers.
And a lot of
Some
people,
of these-
a lot of people who may have moved out of Connecticut who watch our show, we have a big following in Florida
Or Vegas.
or Vegas.
Yep.
And when we have people watching, you may want to chime in if you have answers, thoughts and feelings, etc.
My chips seem kind of low. There we go. Okay.
Oh, that's funny. Oh man.
So you ready?
Yes.
All right. Let me ask you a question real quick.
All right.
Do you know what the nickname of Connecticut is?
Well, I think it's a nutmeg state.
That is one. Apparently, it has two because in my research, I found two of them.
Okay. Another nickname for Connecticut. Is it related to food?
No. You might want to think about your license plate.
Oh, it's the commercial state. Commercial state. No,
it's not the Constipation State.
Constitution state.
The Constitution
There you go.
State.
Very
Yes,
good.
it is the It is also known as the Constitution State.
Remember-
It became a state in 1788.
That's a long time ago.
Okay. What number of the states? Like, was it the first state to become a state? Was it the ninth state? What state do you think it was?
For some reason, I think the 8th or somewhere the first 13.
First 13? What do you say?
I'm going with 5.
It's the fifth state.
Wow,
It was the
thanks.
fifth one
I
to
feel like
become
I
a
knew
state.
that.
That was amazing.
Well, he's out of school. He's
I
fresh
was
out of
Yeah,
school.
I was just saying, I'm fresh out of
That was
school.
actually
Yeah,
very
and
impressive.
his brain still
I have to
functions
phone.
better
I
now.
have to call the phone a friend on that one. This is like we're gonna do like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Phone
be
a friend.
Phone a
Yeah,
friend.
so call Fane if you have any
We
questions.
should actually have that game on the show. That'd be actually a lot of fun.
So the population of Connecticut as of 2015, this is a census that was done in 2010. I don't know how they're doing in 2015, but so in 2015, it was 3.590 million people.
3.59.
Yes.
3.59.
Yes. So the population has increased from that, but what would you think it was at right now?
I think you and I spoke about this a little bit at some time in the last few months. I'm going to say 3.9 million people.
Not even close.
Is it more?
It's way less.
3.8.
Less. It's actually less than 3.7.
You know what it is? Go ahead.
It's 3,625,646
So we've had
currently 2024.
And I'm going to say something about that because you mentioned about how many people are moving into the state, and you make a very good point. I guess the opposite question is how many people moved out of the state?
Well,
Because
less people have moved out than moved in,
I
but
think
it's impacted the numbers that we've had a lot of people move in, but we've also had some move out.
Listen, I'm going to say this, and I wonder if we can pull the statistic up regarding the amount of people that have moved out of state.
Oh, we can find that out.
Because
you know who tracks that?
The Census Bureau?
No.
No idea.
The best source that I've seen in talk shows or statistically reading, U-Haul.
U-Haul.
U-Haul has the most accurate numbers of people that are moving in and out of states. Yes.
That is very interesting.
Yes.
But again, just going into this, we have a lot of people coming from New York, and a lot from California, Massachusetts, absolutely Pennsylvania.
And snowbirds that moved down to Florida said it was too hot to
Right.
be around, came back.
There are a lot of people move back to Connecticut, but on the flip side, there are a lot of people that are leaving Connecticut to go to the southern states for tax reasons or climate change or medical reasons that their body can't handle the cold. So I think that there's definitely that was God talking right there. Well,
I'm saying, okay, Dave. It's projected to be 3.7 million in 2029.
okay,
So I think that might be a bit off, but who knows?
I would agree with you. It all depends how many homes come for sale, available for sale.
What's the capital?
Hartford,
What's the biggest city?
the biggest city in Connecticut. I would say Hartford. Bridgeport.
Bridgeport.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bridgeport or New Haven.
Yeah.
Bridgeport. Bridgeport's the biggest city.
New Haven's not bad.
The state bird?
I want to say I know the name of the state bird. I can picture it. A small little brown bird.
I'll give you a clue. It's not Batman.
The robin.
It's the American robin.
Is it the robin? Really? Then
The American
I was
robin.
off completely on that.
Yep.
I would never guess that correct.
State flower?
No idea.
The mountain laurel.
I don't know what about where I look. Did anybody here out there know about being the state bird, being the robin? And did you know that the flower is the mountain laurel? I don't know what a mountain laurel looks like. I'm not sure if I've ever seen one. I would love to see what a mountain laurel looks like.
All right.
Okay.
So,
next.
you know how New York people are known as New Yorkers? And Florida people are known as Floridians? What are Connecticut people known as?
Crazy.
And it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
Busy. I would say people from Connecticut, I know if I'm guessing here, I have no idea. The nutmegs?
Nutmeggers.
Nutmeggers, is that right?
Yes.
Whatever.
Nutmeggers.
Does anybody
Did you
here-
know that?
And does anybody know what a nutmegger is or what a nutmeg is? I mean, outside the spice?
Yeah, I know what a nutmeg is. All right. Connecticut has a few. There's some interesting facts on here, but some really big, significant impacts on U.S. industries and stuff like that. So, Connecticut is the birthplace of the hamburger.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, Lou's Lunch.
New Haven.
Lou's Lunch.
Yep.
That's right. Now, that's interesting to me. For New Haven to be the original place for the first hamburger, was there a lot of farms here?
I have no idea.
Like, how did it one day happen that
They may have just called it a hamburger, but it was, because okay, so you take a slice of meatloaf, you put it in between two pieces of bread, and you have a hamburger.
True.
You know?
That's a very good point. But Lou's Lunch was the first original hamburger place.
Yep.
Have you ever been to Lou's Lunch before?
I haven't. No.
I was there once. like probably 30 plus years ago. Maybe we'll do a road trip.
All right, you ready for this one?
Yes.
The first speed limit law in the U.S. was passed in Connecticut. The first state to have a speed limit law was right here.
That's interesting.
And the last person to break it is right there.
God forbid. No, knock on wood. All right.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
So does it say anything more about the first speed limit, what it was? Or how
No.
fast they were going?
No, I would imagine it's,
Horse
as
and
fast
buggy?
as your horse could run.
Right,
I don't know.
exactly.
No idea.
That's very interesting.
Well, there's ... after it, but I would have to click on it to see, and this is unprinted, so. All right, the Frisbee was invented at Yale University.
No kidding.
Yep.
That is pretty cool. Did you know that the Frisbee was invented at Yale? That's amazing. I did
Frisbee
not know
is
that
a
about Yale.
Connecticut original.
Do you know, I don't think even Yaleys know that. If I was to put dollars,
Some do,
dollars
they probably do.
I would love to do
It's probably part of their welcome packet.
Do you know what would be funny though, Eric, these kind of questions? What if we went around Connecticut or the areas and said, did you know, or asked these questions about local
Right.
people?
We could find out 25 facts about Yale and just go to Yale and talk to Yaleys,
That
students
is-
there
yeah.
and say, hey, did you know that the Frisbee was invented at Yale?
I like that idea.
You know?
Very cool idea.
All right, check this one out. Speaking of Bridgeport, the
Speaking of
first
Bridgeport,
subway in the United States
Don't even tell me it's Bridgeport.
was in Bridgeport.
There's no subway in Bridgeport today.
The first
I
subway in
believe-
the United States was in Bridgeport.
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Yes.
Interesting. What happened to it, I guess I wonder. It got to New York and didn't come back.
Don't know.
I mean, I don't know. We don't have. You know where? I don't know of another state that has subways.
They may still have the tunnels. Who knows?
That's very interesting. In
Isn't it?
Connecticut,
Yeah. So,
maybe it's where Hoffa is.
no, I don't.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So, what is Connecticut most famous for?
Pizza.
Well, pizza comes up later, for sure.
I'm gonna get hungry real quick.
Connecticut is best known for its beautiful fall foliage,
I would agree with that 100%.
its cultural heritage,
Cultural heritage.
its manufacturing industry, Yale University, and being home of ESPN.
That is a very cool one. Right
Bristol.
there. Yeah. The Yale Bowl, by the way, speaking of Yale, you've been to the Yale Bowl, I've been to the Yale Bowl, kids play football, we go to the games there, they do it once or twice a year, whatever have you.
Yep.
It's amazing that the history that's behind that place, but it's more amazing to me that they have not, and then correct me if I'm wrong, improved on that stadium and
Oh, I
made
believe
that stadium, I mean, well, it's been a handful of years since I could play ball, but you go to the stadium and you'd have these old rickety painted, chipping, peeling, painted, wooden, uncomfortable seats, right? And you think to yourself, can you imagine if Yale took that stadium, made it a actual stadium with seats, put a cover over it, a dome, and made this a place for football games, concerts.
Yeah, but how many does a seat?
That's it. Thing. Can you look up how many seats the Yale Bowl holds? And have to guess.
This is a computer,
I know, but I don't know if you could do it, or you could actually. Can you do that while you're doing the thing? All right. So I would guess the Yale Bowl holds probably 40,000 people. That's a guess.
I got 61.
61,000. I was being conservative. I would have said 50. 61,000 people.
That's a big arena.
That's a big arena. So why is Yale, with all the money and pizzazz they have, not investing in that Yale Bowl and make it the birthplace of Connecticut's finest concert arenas, music festivals?
Well, first off, it
Food.
says the Yale Bowl opened on November 21st, 1914,
Yes.
as Yale played Harvard before a crowd of estimated between 70 and 74,000.
I
Bango
was gonna
bango.
say it got lower as they renovated it.
And Harvard
They
won.
have-
Harvard won 36-0.
Listen, my point is that stadium, that place, that location, the parking is there, obviously, to hold the amount of people there.
Is it?
And you could
I
definitely
think I
build.
went there for an event once and I had to park in the street.
Well, you
a
have-
block and a half away.
Yeah, but they have parking. But my point is, they could make restaurant venues. They could really build that area up. That'd be an amazing investment. All right, anybody who's listening who's an investor and is a contact in Yale, you heard it first here on the Team Powerhouse Show. Let's make it happen.
So those folks who are considering moving to Connecticut,
Yes,
the question is, why is Connecticut so special? Great public schools,
that is a fact.
okay?
I will say to you that one of the biggest things that I find that people, when they move to Connecticut, it is definitely 100% school related.
That's why I moved there.
Right? And in Connecticut, your quote unquote less higher school ratings are typically significantly higher than other states' ratings on their scale. Like our scale level is much more
Right.
tough than other states are for schooling.
Scenic suburbs, a low crime rate, vibrant yet manageable cities, access to exceptional health care. I mean, you've got some major health care.
The healthcare in Connecticut is probably second to none for a size of the state and the amount of hospitals and you have
Top notch,
top-
top notch.
between
I mean, you got some in
Harvard
New York
and Yale.
too, but yeah.
Right, but between Hartford Healthcare and Yale,
Yep.
these two competing brands, which are almost
And
interchangeable.
they're not just isolated in just New Haven and Hartford.
Right, they're
Hartford
in
Healthcare
state-
is spread out.
It's unbelievable how many offices that there. It's kind of like the CVS and the Walgreens of the world. How you find one in every corner. Wherever you see one, you see another. You see one, you see another. And it's interesting because doctors are now beginning to work in multiple. Like it used to be, if you were Yale, you were only a Yale, and now we're finding the crossover happening a little bit too. It's interesting. They're smart.
So, what foods are Connecticut known for?
Well, we know the hamburger. 100% would be the piazza abits, the abits, the Italian abits. The
Well,
pizza.
I mean, I'm sure that this is probably a lot of New England culinary choices, but
Pumpkin pie.
lobster rolls.
Oh yeah. Although hold on a second. Do you know that I thought the lobster roll was a lobster roll because of Maine? I thought it was Maine. And do you know there's a difference between a Maine lobster roll and Connecticut lobster roll?
Outside of the fact that one was made in Maine and one in Connecticut. No.
It's a significant difference in how it's made. There's two kinds of lobster rolls. There's one with the mayonnaise, and it's cold, and there's the ones with the hot butter.
Okay, I'm
Which-
glad all the way.
That's a Connecticut lobster roll.
Okay,
And I was just at the Cheshire Fall Festival,
I put mayonnaise on a lot, but I'm not putting mayonnaise on lobster.
but they
You
make
might.
like a lobster salad.
I
No.
don't eat lobster.
Like
I don't eat a lot of seafood.
Like lobster salad is delicious if you've had lobster, but it's different than the hot buttery lobster roll, and it's really cool how we're getting some. Getting
It's
a
just
little,
this guy. There we go.
Okay.
I pointed at him and he fixed it.
I think we're getting a little zing from our friend who wants to get back on the show,
Mr. Grossman.
Mr. Grossman. But the Connecticut lobster was the hot buttery one with the toasted bun, and the Maine lobster is the cold like a lobster salad. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure why they put collegiate level, but they had collegiate level ice cream. Okay.
So what I think that means is our ice cream in Connecticut, these dairy farms, are presently very popular. There are a lot of great ice cream places that I don't get to go to and enjoy because if I eat the very heavy ice cream with the cream, it would put me into an emergency situation that would require me to be within minutes to a clean facility for a disposal situation.
Yeah, I don't see.
I love
any
ice cream.
Why it says collegiate
But the
level.
heavy, sugary, delicious cream ice cream, I just can't. My body doesn't. Although I eat ice cream every day. That's my working time.
Coal-fired clam-topped pizzas.
Yeah, that's the Pepe's Pizza, right? The clam.
Mm.
I think it's Pepe's well known for the clam pizza.
Okay, so what are some of the inventions that are specific to Connecticut?
Invention specific to
And
Connecticut.
don't say the Frisbee or the hamburger. I'm gonna tell you something, you're gonna be like, ooh, did not know that.
All right.
If so, I'm gonna give you a clue on one of them. If you're heading into Hartford, okay, where you're driving past Hartford, you can
Yes,
see a
Capitol.
building on your left-hand side.
Yeah.
It's kind of got a
Dome,
bluish,
yeah.
bluish dome.
Yeah.
Almost looks like a mosque.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
I used to think that was the Capitol, but it's not.
No.
It is actually the insurance capital. Is it no? Is it the federal
Nope.
IRS? Okay, FBI.
Nope.
It is the gun
Colt.
Colt 45.
Yep.
That's
So the Colt revolver is an invention from Connecticut.
pretty cool.
The toothpaste tube is a Connecticut invention.
No kidding. Connecticut toothpaste tube.
Frisbee, okay.
So we've got the Frisbee, we've got the Colt 45,
And the
we've got
toothpaste tube.
Toothpaste tube.
Something that I don't use anymore because I use a laser one now. Tape measure.
No kidding.
Yep.
Tape measure from Connecticut.
Yep. Now this one I've used. I don't use it now because I'm a little bit on the older side, but I would play it if I could. Wiffle ball.
That's right. That's in. We drive by that on Route 8. That is Seymour, maybe in Sonia. I think it's in Sonia.
Okay.
They say where it is.
No.
If anybody out there knows the answer to that question, football. That's a great sport game.
Can opener.
Really?
Yep.
The can opener was invented in Connecticut.
Yep.
We got some brilliant people in this country, or sorry, in this state of Connecticut who were born and made here. I just made that up. Born and made. They're born and made here.
And you know what else? A submarine.
Submarine based in Groton.
Yep. Submarine was invented here.
No kidding.
Yeah. And you can't use a can opener to open it either. So.
That's a fact.
Because
That
it's a
is
big can,
facts.
so yeah.
So we got the submarine, we got the can opener, we've got wiffle ball, we've got toothpaste, we've got
Frisbee.
Frisbee. Did I miss something else?
Toothpaste tube.
Got that.
Okay.
There are 5. That's going to be a pop quiz to y'all in the future. And anybody else who's watching the show, this would be a great pop quiz question, maybe even for our agents and our team.
What is the number one attraction in Connecticut?
Is it food?
I know what I would have said.
Hold on, is it food related or no?
No.
Okay. So it's either going to be one of two things. It's going to be Mystic Aquarium or the Beardsley Zoo, possibly, as far as those things go.
Really? Because I went straight to the casino, but
Oh,
I
a
went
most
straight
recent.
I went straight to the casino.
Okay,
Well,
that 100 is
That was wrong.
Okay.
So yeah.
I guess the
Any
question
guess?
is, am I close when I
I was
mentioned
gonna
it?
say the aquarium.
Mystic.
Damn!
Mystic Seaport. Mystic Seaport and nearby Mystic Aquarium.
But you know what's really cool about Mystic? It's a beautiful area to go down there on a nice day, not a rainy day. You've got the Mystic Seaport, which is really cool, and there's a lot of great little shops and restaurants and that kind of stuff around there. It's one of the biggest diners I've ever been to in my life. Is in Mystic, right down the street from the Mystic Aquarium. This diner is like massive, phenomenal diner, by the way.
What mentioned in here is Lake Compounce is very popular.
The compounds.
Nautilus Memorial in Groton.
Okay.
Gillette Castle.
Gillette Castle is something that you've been to probably one time in your life, like in Connecticut.
Let's see. The Valley Railroad in Essex.
Yeah.
The Newgate Prison in East Granby.
I have not been to prison.
The Branford Trolley Museum.
I've not been to. There used to be one in New Haven, by the way, a Trolley Museum.
And the Mark Twain House.
Is that in New Haven?
What is?
The Mark Twain House?
Who's Mark Twain?
Oh.
Shut up.
I know, he sounds so familiar. I know.
You don't
Listen.
know Mark Twain? Wrote Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer.
Okay, now I definitely don't know who he is.
Okay,
His
not
name
Tom Sawyer,
sounds-
the Rush song.
His name sounds familiar.
You know, that's actually kind of funny. But listen, they probably don't teach about that anymore.
No, he's
Mark
definitely
Twain and
not
Huckleberry
talking about
Finn. So we have our most region graduate, and again, he's a very smart young man. He runs his podcast. He does an amazing job. So don't judge him. But it's not about what you. It's hey, if you weren't educated or taught that information, how would you know? Let me ask you a question, Finn. Did you have to read about Julius Caesar in school? Really? See, things have changed a lot in what they're teaching in schools and English and that kind of stuff, obviously. I'll never forget that part of my English career in 8th, 9th grade, I think it was. Julius Caesar. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Did you study
I
that?
come to
Barry
what?
Caesar.
No,
Brutus.
no. I come to praise Caesar,
Praise Caesar,
not to bury him.
not to bury him. Good job, Eric. Hey, listen, I got the first part. High five. Give me a high five on that.
Yeah. What animal is Connecticut known for?
Fox.
Is it an insect?
It is not.
Okay, then I don't know.
And I can't imagine why, because you're not going to see any in Connecticut.
Oh. So not
Not on land, anyway.
Oh. It's a fish.
It's
That's
I
a
think
sea
it's a
animal.
mammal, but it's a sea mammal.
A turtle?
No.
I have no idea.
Sperm whale.
What?
The sperm whale was designated as the state animal by the General Assembly in 1975. It was selected because of its specific contribution to the state's history and because of its cut off from the next page.
Cliffhanger, the sperm whale.
That's from
I find-
CT.gov. So
I find that to be. We might have to
if anybody wants to know why, it was
We
CT.gov.
might have to fact check that one. Can you check that out? Got a quick little search while you're.
Sure, I won't. I can run on that.
If any of you all out there know about this sperm whale and it being the state animal, you said
Yeah, it was adopted by the Assembly as a state animal
in
in
1975.
1975.
1975.
Okay,
Okay.
what fruit is Connecticut known for?
I almost said something funny, but I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
What?
Fruit?
Is it a real fruit? Like a,
Yeah,
is
it's a real fruit.
so it's
not
not
a
a
sperm
tomato?
whale.
Orange.
Is that now orange is Florida? Come on.
Yeah, I know.
And it's a fruit, not a nut, and it's not a vegetable that's known as a fruit, or is it a vegetable
It's a fruit,
like a strawberry,
not a vegetable.
Strawberry.
No, what do you say?
I said orange, but it's
blueberry?
Apple.
Interesting.
Apples are the most commonly
We
grown
do-
fruit in Connecticut, with 280
I
farms
was just gonna say, you know,
tending orchards that cover more than 2,000 acres.
that is actually. I'm surprised I didn't say that out loud. I'm
So
embarrassed
did
by
I.
that because we have tremendous amount of orchards here in
Yeah.
Connecticut, all over. Does anybody out there have any comments or questions or statements or feelings? And if they don't do them, if they don't do, they don't have them now, they can have them later. So we'll always get back to you on those too. Okay. I guess my question is, are you watching me now?
So let's go back to a few things that were originated from Connecticut. Vulcanized rubber. Okay, Dave's like, what is vulcanized rubber? Friction matches.
Could you explain to me what vulcanized rubber is? I'm just curious.
Volcano rubber?
Vulcanized. I think it's a type of rubber that's like for like tires and stuff like that.
Okay.
Friction matches.
Interesting. You said there were.
These are other inventions out of Connecticut.
No kidding. Friction.
Vulcanized rubber, friction matches, sewing machines,
Wow.
steamboats.
You know, it's funny you mentioned sewing machines because I find it to be something that's very popular as a collector's item that I find in people's homes. They have several sewing machines. I never thought to myself.
Singer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Singer. Steamboats, safety fuses.
Interesting.
Okay, lollipops,
Huh.
corkscrews, mechanical calculators,
Wow.
and cylindrical locks
These are all invented in Connecticut.
in Connecticut.
Wow.
Originated in Connecticut. Yeah.
That, I have to tell you, this is some information that I never knew before that I find to be very, very cool to know about. Eric, you know what I think we should do? When we have new people moving to Connecticut, we should make a flyer. Did you know what Connecticut is known for? Here are some of the boop, 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 boop. I think very cool to have.
Yep.
What do you all think? Very cool stuff.
Okay, so not many states have an official cookie. Okay.
I'm hungry now. I'm really hungry.
but,
The pizza, the lobster roll, the cookies.
But the Connecticut, also known as the Constitution State, has called dibs on a particular cookie.
If I had to guess,
It's got a really kind of funky name to it.
oh, snickerdoodle?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
You gave me a little hint when you said that part.
Yep.
The snickerdoodle cookie is the Connecticut cookie?
Yeah, Connecticut. Not many states have an official cookie, but Constitution State has called dibs on the delicious snickerdoodle. This cinnamon sugar-coated treat would combine nicely with the state's official dessert, ice cream.
Yes.
And you like ice cream, so
I
that's natural that you
love
lived in in Connecticut.
Connecticut,
So,
right.
yeah.
It is interesting. Do you love ice cream, Eric? Are you an ice cream guy? Like,
Yeah, on occasion.
yeah, not every day.
What is the national dish of Connecticut?
I can't
Connecticut
see
state food.
No way I can see it.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Pizza. Well, we're running out of time here, so I'm gonna rip through this one real quick.
Snickerdoodle cookie. No kidding, the snickerdoodle. See, I'm gonna go on personally with a couple of the cookies because of favoritism. The Reese's peanut butter cup, the peanut butter anything, XYZ peanut butter, and of course the chocolate chip cookie, which of course is a winner all day long. But all cookies to me, almost all cookies are yummy. Just some are better than others. I'm a cookie guy myself.
Okay, one famous person that was born in Connecticut.
One famous or lots of famous?
Well, just
Male or female?
Female.
From Old Seabrook?
Nope, from Hartford.
What year?
I don't know, it doesn't give a year,
Okay,
but she's a bit on the older side.
okay.
She ended up living in Old Saybrook.
Ah, that's the one I
She's
thought.
from Hartford.
Yeah, I think she's
You
from
thinking
Hartford.
about Catherine Hepburn?
Yeah, Hepburn.
Yep,
I
Catherine
used to live,
Hepburn.
right, we used to live close to her house and they'll do the Catherine Hepburn house and, you know, who lives here in Catherine Hepburn, yeah.
And the last.
There's a lot of famous actors and actresses from Connecticut today more than ever. We've got musicians, we've got actors, actresses. We've got an actor right here in front of you from Connecticut.
Cool.
Mr. Eric Vasquez.
You do movies?
It's,
Okay.
yes.
The Hartford Courant, established in 1764, is the nation's oldest continuously published newspaper.
No kidding. That I didn't know either.
Yep, I thought it was the Post, New York Post, but
I would never have come up with that answer as a Hartford Courant as the oldest. I mean, obviously being number 5 in the states, right? So what other states came before us? What have they done before us? Obviously the newspaper wasn't one of those things they came up with in the first 4 states. So the 5th state came up and then Connecticut said, okay, we gotta read all about it. Extra, right? Read all about it.
okay, 2 last things.
All right.
Connecticut is known as the insurance capital of the world,
100%.
which should not catch anybody by surprise if you've driven through Hartford.
That is facts.
And this last part I thought was really interesting because I've been in so many towns in Connecticut, and it's true that they all have this. A lot of cities or towns in Connecticut are built around greens.
That is very true. As a matter of fact, it actually is one of those things that when a town has a green, it actually brings it up a level in, I almost call it value, community. And it's usually small towns that have the greens. If you think about the shoreline, across the board, North Haven has a green, Cheshire has a green. Yeah, most.
Guilford
yeah.
Center has a green. and
Madison,
Old Saybrook has
yeah.
a green, yeah.
Guilford, Brantford.
Yeah, it says here, many historic towns in northern Connecticut are built around a village green. It's actually all over Connecticut, not just
Yeah,
northern Connecticut.
I have to think of every town. West Haven. As a matter of fact, every town I think about it, where the green is.
Mhm.
Meriden, Southington. That's really wild.
Mhm.
Huh.
And the last one, Yankee Doodle,
Dandy?
is the official state song of Connecticut.
Is that right?
Yep.
I think I knew that. They always play that song.
Where?
Yankee Doodle
At, like,
went to
Any
town.
sport event ever.
Really?
How do you how does
When
the song
when I
go?
was in like middle school, all the sport games
Yankee
that
Doodle,
they have
Yankee
the
Doodle went to
band,
town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat, and they called it macaroni.
the parades, they always play that song.
Really? I don't go any parades
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
since I rock and roll.
Well, I'm gonna say, Eric, that was some great.
It scared you at first, though. You didn't know where I was going. I was
You
like,
know,
oh my
there
God,
are
we're
so
not
many-
allowed to talk about
There are
that.
so many hot topics that we are not allowed to talk about, but we should, but we can't. And we never want anybody to be offended or upset, although we should be able to talk about everything always, and communication
I
is
mean,
everything.
telling people that you straight up. I mean, listen, I'm gonna say right now, I'm a Mets fan. I'm sorry. Kill me. Okay? I know there's certain things that we can't talk about. I'm a Mets fan. I'm sorry. I grew up in New York. And I could throw a rock at the stadium. I was so close to it.
You should
know?
make it a tradition every year to go to the Shea Stadium. You should.
I would, except they knocked it down. It's not there anymore.
But it's still.
It's now City Field.
It's still Shea though. You know what? When you
It's not Shea.
emotionally, it's still Shea. City Field. It's a pretty stadium there, City Field.
Well, home plate is still there, I think. I think they have an area in the parking lot where home plate used to be
Yeah.
for Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
They have it cordoned off and stuff. So yeah.
At Yankee Stadium, it's even actually really cool. They actually have kids and families and people playing baseball. When you go to a baseball game, there's always some kind of baseball game going
Well,
on.
didn't-
where the old stadium was.
I don't know if the new Yankee Stadium has it, but I know the old Yankee Stadium had the monument section.
Yes, they
There
have.
used to be. Do they still have that?
Yes, of course.
Do they?
Yeah,
All right,
it's
that's
pretty cool.
that's a whole other episode there.
That's a good idea for an episode.
Yeah.
By the way. Thank you all for joining Eric and I on this Tuesday night on the Team Powerhouse Show. Hope you had a great time. Again, I want to thank my wife Valerie very much in advance for all that she does and will be doing over the next couple of weeks.
Will she be on the podcast in your place?
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. So not this Friday,
So apparently that wasn't planned.
but next Friday, the 4th, I'm going to have surgery.
Under the knife.
So that maybe that's not a bad
Is
idea.
it gonna be in a place where there's like the seating around the top and you can watch?
I don't know. That's
You know
a
what I'm
great-
talking about, right? They
Yeah.
have those arenas.
I
Yeah, the other surgeons can watch and learn and stuff.
I do not know the answer to that question. I'll have to get back
I'm
to
gonna
you.
drop a
Yeah.
junior mint. You know what I'm talking about, right? From the Seinfeld episode.
Oh my god, that was so funny, Kramer. Oh my god,
He
that
dropped
was
the junior mint. You don't know what I'm talking about. Things lost.
Thane, if you ever want to watch what's it called?
That was Seinfeld.
But if you ever want to watch it from the beginning until the 10 years they had it, there are some shows you watch and you would just laugh.
Binge watch.
Binge watch.
Things,
The Office is another one. Great stuff. All right, everybody, we got the next part of our show. We're going to give out a free tumbler to one of our lucky winners. Remember, very important, get in touch with us. Let us know who you are and get us your contact. I think from now on what we're going to do is when people want to get on this tumbler wheel, is to get all their information, not just their stage name on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We need to get your contact so we have like an address for you, maybe a phone number. That would be great so we can make sure we get this tumbler to you. So, Thane, let's spin that wheel, buddy.
Nush Rena off Instagram.
Nashrina on Instagram, thank you so much for being part of our show. Winning a free tumbler. Make sure to reach out to us so we can get that tumbler to
Hopefully
you.
she's watching. It's gotta be exciting to hear your name.
I mean,
Like, oh my god, that's my name.
right? Absolutely. Make sure to get in touch with us. We'd love to get this tumbler to you. Thank you so much again for being part of our lives every Tuesday. And we will see you next week.
What's next week?
Surprise.
Surprise.